Mr. Tarabella, you want the floor.
Merci, Madame la Présidente. Simplement.
Thank you, Madam President. Just like to thank the co-signatories and colleagues who signed this written statement, 2015-004, Fight Against Violence Against Women. This is the first written statement which has got a majority of signatories since the new system has been brought in. I'd like to thank everybody. Dear colleagues, continue to sign it, though, because the deadline is the 9th of May. Thank you to the co-signatories again and all colleagues.
Well, we are impressed, Mr. Tarabella. Now, the next, Mr. Borghezio, you have a point of order.
Madam President, I'd simply like to share some news with you regarding what happened in Canada last night. Patrick Gruner, who was a member of the European Parliament and a former of the De Fatima Worldwide Movement, passed away last night. I would like to call everybody to prayer for this great man of God and of peace.
Dear colleagues, we now come to the votes. We start with the report Bettini on exceptional trade measures for countries and territories participating in or linked to the European Union's stabilization and association process and suspending its application with regard to Bosnia and Herzegovina. We vote first on a block of amendments from the Committee on International Trade. By show of hands, who is in favor, who is against, abstentions, adopted. Amendment 11 on roll call vote. The vote is open. The vote is closed. And it's rejected. Amendment 12 by roll call vote. The vote is open. The vote is closed. And it is rejected. Amendment 13 by show of hands. Who is in favor? Who is against? Rejected. Amendment 10. Who is in favor? Who is against? Who is abstentions? Rejected. Amendment 3. Who is in favor? Who is against? Abstentions? Adopted. We vote on the proposal from the Commission. In favor? Against? Abstentions? Adopted. We have the chair of the committee, Mr. Lange, to put forward the proposal. Mr. Lange.
Ja, jetzt geht's.
Madam President, on behalf of the committee, we'd like to move that the final vote on the legislative resolution is postponed and to achieve agreement with Council in trilogue, and therefore postpone the vote.
So who is in favor of this proposal of postponing the vote? Against? Abstentions? Adopted. So the vote is postponed. We move to the next report, which is a resolution on persecutions of Christians around the world in relation to the killing of students in Kenya by a terror group, Al-Shabaab. First, we vote on the motion for resolution by the EPP group by roll call vote. The vote is open. The vote is closed. And it is rejected. We move to a joint motion for a resolution by 4 political groups. We have amendments. We start with Amendment 9 by roll call vote. The vote is open. The vote is closed. Adopted. Amendment 10 by roll call vote. The vote is open. The vote is closed. And it is adopted. Amendment 11 by roll call vote. The vote is open. The vote is closed. And it is adopted. Amendment 12 by roll call vote. The vote is open. The vote is closed. And it is adopted. Amendment 13 by roll call vote. The vote is open. The vote is closed. It's adopted. Amendment 14, roll call vote. The vote is open. The vote is closed. And it is rejected. Amendment 16, by roll call vote. The vote is open. The vote is closed. Adopted. Amendment 2, by show of hands, who is in favor? Against? Abstentions? Rejected. Paragraph 7, the original text, who is in favor? Against? Abstentions? Adopted. Amendment 3, in favor? Against? Abstentions? Rejected. Paragraph 11, in favor? Against? Abstentions? Adopted. Amendment 4 in favor? Against? Abstentions? Rejected. Paragraph 12 in 4 parts. First part, in favor? Against? Abstentions? Adopted. Second part, in favor? Against? Abstentions? Adopted. Third part, in favor? Against? Abstentions? Adopted. Fourth part, in favor? Against? Abstentions? Adopted. Amendment 17 by roll call vote. The vote is open. The vote is closed. Adopted. Amendment 18 by roll call vote. The vote is open. The vote is closed. Adopted. Amendment 5 by roll call vote. The vote is open. The vote is closed. Adopted. Amendment 6 by roll call vote. The vote is open. The vote is closed. Adopted. Amendment 7 by roll call vote. The vote is open. The vote is closed. Adopted. Amendment 7, 7 or 8? Amendment 8 by roll call vote. The vote is open. The vote is closed. And it's adopted. Amendment 1 by show of hands. Who is in favor? Against? Abstentions? Rejected. Recital M. Who is in favor? Against? Abstentions? Adopted. And we vote on the resolution as a whole by roll call vote. The vote is open. The vote is closed. And it is adopted. We move to the next item, which is a resolution on destruction of cultural sites perpetrated by ISIS. It's a joint motion for a resolution by 6 groups. We start with Amendment 10. By show of hands, who is in favor? Against? Abstentions? Rejected. Amendment 11, who is in favor? Against? Abstentions? Rejected. Amendment 5, in favor? Against? Abstentions? Rejected. Amendment 6, in favor? Against? Abstentions? Rejected. Amendment 7, in favor? Against? Abstentions? Rejected. Amendment 8 in favor? Against? Abstentions? Rejected. Amendment 9 in favor? Against? Abstentions? Rejected. Amendment 1 in favor? Against? Abstentions? Rejected. Amendment 2 in favor? Against? Abstentions? Rejected. Amendment 3 in favor? Against? Abstentions? Rejected. Amendment 4 in favor? Against? Abstentions? Rejected. Vote on the resolution as a whole by roll call vote. The vote is open. The vote is closed. And it is adopted. Next item, a resolution on situation in Maldives. It's a joint motion for a resolution by 7 groups. One vote for the resolution as a whole by show of hands. Who is in favor? Against? Abstentions? Adopted. Next item. It's a resolution on a 2014 progress report on Albania. A motion for a resolution coming from Committee on Foreign Affairs. We start with Amendment 5 by show of hands. Who is in favor? Against? Abstentions? Check. The vote is open. The vote is closed. It's rejected. Amendment 1, who is in favor? Against? Abstentions? Adopted. Amendments 2 and 3 in favor? Against? Abstentions? Check. I'm sorry, I didn't see all the hands. The vote is open, I'm sorry. It's closed. Adopted. Amendment 4 in favor. Against? Abstentions? Adopted. Do we vote on this one? No. The vote on the resolution as a whole. In favor? Against? Abstentions? Adopted. Next item is the Progress Report 2014 on Bosnia and Herzegovina. It's a motion for a resolution coming from Committee on Foreign Affairs. We start with Amendment 4 by show of hands. Who is in favor? Against? Abstentions? Rejected. For Amendment 5, we have an oral amendment. You want to check Amendment 4? Okay, we check Amendment 4. The vote is open. The vote is closed. Rejected. Amendment 5, Mr. Preda has an oral amendment, please.
Thank you, Madam President. This oral amendment suggests splitting Amendment 5 into 2 paragraphs. The first one ending after to proceed to the conclusion and entry into force of the Stabilization Association Agreement, and the second para begins at, and this is a new thing, with welcomes the longer-awaited entry into force of the SAA set for June 1st, 2015, which will allow Bosnia and Herzegovina to move forward in the EU integration process and open up the reform agenda for the benefit of the country. And the rest of the amendment remains the same. I would like to thank all colleagues from the political groups for their cooperation. Thank you.
Is anyone opposing this oral amendment?
No.
I'm sorry, you're not 40. Yes.
There are 40. Yeah.
There are
40. Yeah. So it's. It's opposed.
So the oral amendment, it's opposed. Apparently there are 40. So we vote on Amendment 5 without the oral amendment by show of hands. Who is in favor? Against? Again, I'm sorry. Who is in favor? Against? Abstentions? Adopted. Amendment 6 by show of hands. Who is in favor? Against? Abstentions? Adopted. Amendment 2 by roll call vote. The vote is open. The vote is closed. It is rejected. After paragraph 21, we have again an oral amendment from Mr. Preda. From Mr. Preda, you have the floor.
Thank you, Madam President. I don't understand why the colleagues were against stipulating that the association agreement will come into force. I find this ludicrous, but never mind. This oral amendment after para 21 refers to the recent terrorist attacks, and I hope that at least this will bring about consensus. I quote, strongly condemns the terrorist attack perpetrated on April the 27th, 2015 on a police station in the eastern Bosnian town of Zvornik, which claimed the life of one policeman and injured 2 others, expresses its solidarity with the victims and their families, condemns in the strongest terms the violent extremist ideology behind this attack, calls on the competent authorities, responsible security agencies and judicial institutions to cooperate in conducting a swift and thorough investigation and preventing future attacks, expresses hope that the institutions and citizens of Bosnia and Herzegovina will come together in combating the threat of terrorism and extremist violence. Thank you.
Is anyone opposing this oral amendment? This time, no. So we vote on this amendment by show of hands. Who is in favor? Against? Abstention is adopted. Amendment 7 in favor. Against? Abstentions adopted. Amendment 3 by roll call vote. The vote is open. The vote is closed. Rejected. Amendments 1 and 8 by roll call. The vote is open. The vote is closed. Rejected. We vote on the resolution as a whole. Who is in favor? Against? Abstentions? Adopted. We move to the next item, which is the report Urtasun. Mr. Manka, you have a point of order?
Ďakujem, pani predsednička. Pani predsednička, za tieto 3 dni naše hlasovacie...
In these last 3 days, our voting lists have had 120 pages. If we had that in a paperless form, we could save an awful lot of paper. Thank you.
We are working on it. So, Report Urtasun, European Investment Bank Annual Report 2013. Paragraph 6, original text in 2 parts, by show of hands. First part, who is in favor? Against? Abstentions adopted. Second part, who is in favor? Against? Abstentions rejected. Paragraph 10 in 2 parts. First part, who is in favor? Against? Abstentions rejected. Second part, in favor? It was obvious. We go back to first part. The vote is open on the first part. Is closed. Adopted. Second part. Show your hands if you want me to draw the right conclusion. Second part, who is in favor? Against? Abstentions adopted. Amendment 1, who is in favor? Against? Abstentions Adopted. Paragraph 23. It was obvious. Paragraph 23, first part. Who is in favor? Against. Abstentions adopted. Second part in favor. Against. Check. Vote is open on second part. It's closed. Adopted. Paragraph 33, roll call vote. The vote is open. The vote is closed. Adopted. Paragraph 34, roll call vote. The vote is open. The vote is closed. Adopted. Paragraph 36 in two parts. First part by show of hands. Who is in favor? Against? Abstention is adopted. Second part by roll call vote. The vote is open. The vote is closed. Adopted. Paragraph 39, three parts. First part, who is in favor? Against? Abstentions adopted. Second part by roll call vote. The vote is open. The vote is closed. Adopted. Third part by roll call vote. The vote is open. The vote is closed. Adopted. Paragraph 42 by roll call vote. The vote is open. The vote is closed. Adopted. Paragraph 43 in two parts. First part by show of hands. Who is in favor? Against? Abstentions adopted. Second part by roll call vote. The vote is open. The vote is closed. Adopted. Amendment 2 in favor. Against? Abstentions rejected. Paragraph 53. Amendment 2, we check. The vote is open. You will see. The vote is closed. Okay, adopted. Paragraph 53 in two parts. First part in favor, against, abstentions adopted. Second part by roll call vote. The vote is open. The vote is closed. Adopted. Paragraph 57 in two parts. First part in favor, against, abstentions rejected. The second part in favor. We check. So first part, vote is open. The vote is closed. Adopted. Second part, who is in favor? Stop. Show hands and stop making noises. So, second part, who is in favor? Against? Abstentions? Adopted. Recital A, first part, who is in favor? Against? Abstentions? Adopted. Second part, who is in favor? Against? Abstentions? Adopted. Recital B. Now we go the other way around. Recital B in two parts. First part by roll call vote. The vote is open. Believe me. Believe me. The vote is closed. Adopted. Second part By roll call vote, the vote is open. The vote is closed. Adopted. We vote on the resolution as a whole by roll call vote. The vote is open. The vote is closed. And it is adopted. Next item is a motion for a resolution coming from the Committee on Agriculture and Rural Development on Milano Expo 2015. We start with Amendment 17 by show of hands. Who's in favor? Against? Abstentions adopted. Amendment 18 in favor? Against? Abstentions adopted. Amendment 44 in favor? Against? Abstentions rejected. Amendment 45 in favor. Against. Abstentions rejected. Amendment 46 in favor. Against. Abstentions rejected. Amendment 47 in favor. Against. Abstentions rejected. Amendment 33 by roll call vote. The vote is open. The vote is closed. And it is rejected. Amendment 19 in favor. Against. Abstentions adopted. Amendment 34 in favor. Against. Abstentions rejected. Amendment 20 in favor. Against. Abstentions adopted. Amendment 21 in favor. Against. Abstentions adopted. Amendment 22 in favor. Against. Abstentions adopted. Amendment 35, roll call vote. The vote is open. The vote is closed. Rejected. Amendment 48 in favor. Against. Abstentions rejected. Amendment 23 in favor. Against. Abstentions adopted. Amendment 36 in favor. Against. Abstentions rejected. Amendment 49 in favor. Against. Abstentions adopted. Amendment 24 in favor. Against. Abstentions rejected. Amendment 25 in favor. Against. Abstentions adopted. Amendment 26 in favor. Against. Abstentions rejected. Amendment 50 in favor. Against. Abstentions rejected. Amendment 27 in favor. Against. Abstentions adopted. The original text on paragraph 34 in favor. Against. Abstentions rejected. Recital A. Amendment 37 in favor. Against. Abstentions rejected. Amendment 38 in favor. Against. Abstentions rejected. Amendment 29 in favor. Against. Abstentions adopted. Amendment 1 in favor. Against. Abstentions adopted. Amendment 39 in favor. Against. Abstentions rejected. Amendment 30 in favor. Against. Abstentions rejected. Amendment 40, in favor. Against. Again. Amendment 40 in favor. Against. Abstentions rejected. Amendment 41 in favor. Against. Abstentions rejected. Amendment 2 in favor. Against. Abstentions adopted. Amendment 3 in favor. Against. Abstentions adopted. Amendment 4 in favor. Against. Abstentions adopted. Amendment 5 in favor. Against. Abstentions adopted. Recital H, original text in two parts. First part in favor. Against. Abstentions adopted. Second part in favor. Against. Abstentions adopted. Amendment 6 in favor. against, abstentions adopted. Amendment 42 in favor, against, abstentions rejected. Amendment 31 in favor. Amendment 31 in favor, against, abstentions rejected. Amendment 43 in favor. No, it's not necessary. Amendment 43 in favor, against, abstentions rejected. Amendment 7 in favor, against, again, Amendment 7 in favor, against, abstentions adopted. Amendment 8 in favor, against, abstentions adopted. Amendment 9 in favor, against, abstentions adopted. Amendment 10 in favor, against, abstentions adopted. Amendment 11 in favor, against, abstentions adopted. Amendment 12 in favor, against, abstentions adopted. Amendment 13 in favor, against, abstentions, check. The vote is open. The vote is closed. Adopted. Amendment 32 in favor, against, abstentions rejected. Amendment 14 in favor, against, abstentions adopted. Amendment 28 in favor, against, abstentions adopted. Amendment 15 in favor, against, abstentions adopted. Amendment 16 in favor, against, abstentions adopted. Vote on the resolution as a whole by roll call vote. The vote is open. The vote is closed. And it is adopted. Last item is a joint motion for a resolution by 7 political groups on the situation in Nigeria. We start with paragraph 7, original text in 2 parts. First part, by show of hands, who is in favor? Against, abstentions, adopted. Second part, in favor, against, abstentions, adopted. Paragraph 8, in favor, against, abstentions, again. Paragraph 8, in favor, against, abstentions, adopted. Paragraph 11 in 2 parts. First part, in favor, against, abstentions, adopted. Second part, in favor, against, abstentions, adopted. Paragraph 15 in 2 parts. First part, in favor, against, abstentions, adopted. Second part, in favor, against, abstentions, adopted. Recital S, in favor, against, abstentions, adopted. Roll call vote on the resolution as a whole. The vote is open. The vote is closed. And it is adopted. Thank you very much, colleagues. The vote session is closed.
We have the explanations of vote.
We move to the explanation of votes after we get some quietness here. Enjoy the lunch.